Hi Gerald, and hi to everybody that's here. Today we're having a discussion regarding three main points. The first one will be supervisors that's doing PTOs. Second one will be a key point of safety reps on the election and the process and how they will be appointed, as well as the safety officers. So before we continue, I just want to introduce everyone to Gerald. Gerald is one of my previous engineers on Glencore side. I must say it and I must attest. When I joined the mining sector, I came from the power generation called Eskom, and when I got to you guys on the mining side, I was quite a novice. I had experience and I had qualifications, but the mining sector was something new for me, as well as the engineering side on mining. So that's the reason why I called you and asked if you're willing to assist us with this podcast and assist me to teach learners on what's important in their respective workforces. So thanks for your time, and if you have if you can just explain who you are, what you're doing, and just give us a little bit background of what you've done in the past.
First of all, you're welcome, Stephen. It's a pleasure to work with you, and also, yes, welcome to everybody. And I hope this will be beneficial in the learning process. So, Stephen, my background, I started off as an artisan, did my trade and worked as an artisan, and then from there I moved over to the planning portion and spent some time with the oil company in lubrication and lubrication analysis and recommendations. And then I decided I want to pursue my ticket as an engineer. So I completed my studies, worked in that time as a foreman at one of BHP Billiton's mines, and later on as a reliability engineer or a specialist, how it was called in that time. And then from there I obtained my ticket as a mechanical engineer for mines and works. And I was appointed at BHP Billiton as a services engineer first, focused on the open cast, looking at the support services for the open cast, and then later on as the plant engineer of one of the new DMO plants that Billiton constructed. From there, I had the opportunity to move for about 11 months, where I moved to a smaller operation that was at that time a part of Glencore. It was Xstrata still at that stage, in the role of a 213-1 engineer, looking after a plant as well as 2 underground sections and an open cast pit. And then 11 months later, I returned to BHP Billiton in capacity of maintenance control engineer. Then probably the biggest opportunity of my career was given to me by Xstrata when they started the optimization project of Tweefontein. And there we started basically, it was the engineering manager, myself, and one GS. That was the team at the beginning. And we had to recruit the whole team, procure the equipment, workshops needed to be built. So for 2 years we were part of the project, and after that we went into sustainable mining, and I was appointed as a colliery engineer. That's where we met, and we worked for a couple of years, and I think we were a very successful team, probably the best team that I had the privilege of working with.
I think we were the best team in the whole group. Throughout the whole group that it was available, we were the best.
I want to concur, and I think we built relationships that some of them is still, I still have those relationships today. And from there I moved over to Impunzi, also a Glencore mine, in the capacity of engineering manager. And yes, that's where I finished my career with Glencore at that stage as an employee. And then I moved to my own business, where I now do consulting in the safety sphere, as well as the maintenance and incident investigation. Biggest customer still Glencore, so still working very closely with Glencore, and that's basically me.
Yeah, no, thank you for that. Just one thing I must say, after I left with Glencore, I went over to the dragline division, and yet again there I found Gerald a year later on a Mpunzi site as the engineering manager. We had the privilege to do one dragline shutdown together as well. Both of us learned on that project. We had some few incidents there that we could have learned from. So with that, when I ended my time on Glencore Barloworld sites, I opened my own training company, and we do also investigations with incidents. And I saw there's a big gap in the industry for actual training, on-job training. A book can make a book smart, but if you do not have actual on-job experience, you will never get anywhere. So the main reason out of this whole session is that we can talk about what's really happening in the mining sector, in the engineering sector, as well as on the power generation by Eskom sites. You can transfer the skills that you've got on any Glencore site, any BHP site over to Eskom, and you can make a success out of your career. The principle stays the same, it's just the procedures that changes. So again, that's why we decided to make this as a company, so that we can give a person who's new in the safety environment or new in a supervisory environment, that he gets the best knowledge, the best training, as well as some experience, on-job experience by us, so that when you get to the work area, you do not have any incidents where you could have prevented that, because it's a difficult feeling explaining to a family member why there's a life-changing event like a fatal or a lost time or loss of limb or something like that. And you don't want to go through that. But we'll touch through that throughout the session. So thanks again, Gerald.